I'm Richie and welcome to Helix Cloud Games, and this is SideQuest, a show where we take a step off the critical path and explore more what the video game world has to offer. On this week's show, I'm joined by the host of Sounds of Stadia podcast, Mr. Chris.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year indeed. And today we're going to be talking about the top most expected games of 2020 in our opinion. So first, quick bit of housekeeping. Make sure you like that video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon for notifications when all of our great content goes live, such as the Sounds of Stadia podcast every single weekday, or every single Monday. We're not going to bring you daily. Every single Monday on YouTube and podcast services, where you can also get SideQuest and podcast services. Our Thursday night live streams, which will be restarting yesterday if you're not a member. For memberships, you can join the channel, get early access to SideQuest, usually on a Sunday for as little as 99p. It supports the channel, gives you access to our custom emojis, in our chats and secret areas of our Discord, where you can join in the link in the description below to write in topic suggestions and have chat with some awesome people. So, Chris, it's a new year.
It is.
What are you looking forward to?
Well, here's the thing, isn't it? Here we are. 2nd of January. It's a brand new year. It's a new day. It's a new year. What will I be playing on Stadia in 2022? And the truth is, Richie, we don't quite know yet much beyond the 1st of February, if you ask me. So I think the best thing we can do today is hope that the majority of the titles will be coming.
Yeah.
And hope that we get some kind of indication that they are in the very, very near future. But I think if we go through them chronologically from what we know, and then just kind of talk about maybe our expectations of the game and if we think the true reality of it coming to the platform will be. So where do you want to start?
Well, if we're going through chronologically, I think the first place to start will be, I believe, Rainbow Six Extraction is the first game that we know is coming to the platform.
It would have already been out if it had not been for delays.
And actually, it's a nice place to start as well because it's a game that we do know is coming to the platform. And
that's right.
We're expecting this to come out on the 20th of January.
Yeah.
So only a couple of weeks away from a new Ubisoft title. One we were looking forward to.
We were, yeah. It's been a bit of a weird journey with Extraction because Rainbow Six Siege arrived last year. Great price. Extraction has since had a price cut, even though it's not came out yet. The game is actually cheaper to pre-order than it ever has been. So yes, 20th of January. It's Rainbow Six essentially with aliens and alien exploding pods to deal with and a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
I think it will do great on the platform. It's also part of the Ubisoft Plus subscription model. We know, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed to have crossplay, just like Rainbow Six Siege standalone does. So that means the player base will be there. I think this game can either, not from a Stadia point of view, but just from a game point of view, I don't know if it's going to miss the boat. I don't know whether it's going to appeal necessarily to Rainbow Six fans, Siege fans I should say, or this newer audience they're grasping at, because Siege has done so well for a continued support. And Extraction almost feels like just like a DLC spin-off in a weird way, and my kind of favour for that is gone. It's ebbed and flowed, and I think the delay that happened last year is almost like it's put it out of my interest zone a little bit. Yeah,
like it was kind of announced last year, and I went, "Oh, this looks interesting." A spin-off for Rainbow Six Siege that focuses more on weird zombie creatures, it's more PvE rather than PvP. And then it got delayed. I don't feel like we've seen enough of this game to truly understand how much game is going to be there. Because that's the thing with these games as a service sort of things. It's like, how much game is actually going to be there on day one? Is it worth my money? Or is it something like where with you like a Siege and going, you know what? It's going to be a really great game in a year or two's time.
Yeah.
It's hard to know. I'm still interested in it. I feel it needs a bit more of a marketing push almost from Ubisoft to go to sellers. Go, look, this is what the game is, and this is how much there's going to be there, and this is why you should buy it.
Yeah, of course. Time of recording, everyone's probably still on holiday over at Ubisoft, so we might see beginning next week the marketing push. Like you've got a fortnight to really just drive home the message that this game is out soon. I'm always curious about games that come out early January, how much it's impacted by just people not having any money Because I don't know about
Yeah.
you, but this time of the month, I mean, not this time of the month, January is the longest month for payday for most people because usually you get your Christmas pay packet a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So everyone's kind of like clinging on. So coming out the back end of January is like, oh, okay.
It's a bad release window because not only is it January, it's later in January, and February is stacked. This year.
Is. But we do know it's coming. It's AAA quality. It's Ubisoft once again supporting the platform, and I hope it does well because I would love the year to kind of kickstart with the buzz and excitement. And killing aliens is always fun.
I think it's going to come out. It's going to be well received, kind of well received. Ubisoft have kind of shot themselves in the foot over the last few months with all the NFT stuff, which is going to be hanging over this game a bit. There's no way avoiding that. People are going to be. It's just going to be a platform for selling NFTs a bit. Then people do exist. I think it's going to come out well, and then diminish, and then it'll pick up as the year goes on. As if it gets continued support, gets like new seasons. As long as they don't make the season pass excruciating in terms of price, if they keep the price down on the game, so people are happy to invest maybe like £10 every couple of months for a new season. Yeah, it could have a good life.
What'll do well for it, I think, if it lands, if obviously the cheaper price point will help it, but I think if streamers pick up, so it's a brand new year, if you get all the content creators out there in the world, like all the big names, playing this and showing themselves having fun, I think it could really kickstart the year quite well.
It needs to get enough goodwill in the bank in the first few weeks before February hits, because since February hits, the tension's off it onto things like Horizon and Elden Ring and things like that. So it does have to kind of get itself established quickly to the point where it survives that, and that it's going to have a fall off in February. I think a lot of games will have a massive fall off in February. Yeah, it's an interesting window. Yeah, it just needs to be able to rebound after it.
Yeah, so that's one in the bag for Stadia for 2022 though. The first month, mere weeks in, and we get a big game to play and talk about, which is great.
And talking about February, another guarantee, Life is Strange Remaster is coming to Pro.
It is, yeah. So it's previously delayed, like Extraction was. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yes, confirmed. I think it's one of the Stadia blogs over Christmas that yes, it is still coming, and it is still coming to Pro. So look out for that one in the new year. So yeah, less than 30 days from now, you will be able to claim Life is Strange Remastered on Pro. And we're both big fans of this title.
Yeah.
You especially.
Yeah, maybe we should do some content around it. Maybe a live stream or something.
Yeah, we can say. Look, we know the length of it, and we know what to do.
Yeah,
so it's not like we're going to.
We could just do like
down.
what? I think it's like 5 episodes each, is around about 2 hours long.
Yeah.
And then I think Before the Storm is another 3 episodes, about 2 hours long.
Yep, I think
depend how you approach the game, but yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those ones with a remaster. It's like it's great to have. It's probably. We said, I think, at the time of True Colours launching last year, it was a bit odd to have them the wrong way around, but they are self-contained stories, so it doesn't hamper it that much.
Yeah, I have seen a few people like posting saying, "Oh, should I play True Colours or should I wait for Life is Strange?" It's like, just play True Colours.
Yeah,
there isn't much crossover at all. The only real crossover is Steph from True Colours is in Before the Storm, but there's kind of years between.
Yeah,
the appearances.
There's no direct connection, is there?
It's a nice kind of thing. Oh, that's thingy from Before the Storm. But then that's the only real touchstone there is there. So
yeah, go play it. Out of the two, which is your favourite? Is it the original?
I think the original is slightly better
from a story point of view.
Yeah, well, the story's a bit bigger than Before the Storm. Is like, as I said, it's only 3 episodes. So it's a bit shorter.
No, I meant True Colours.
Oh, I still think the original is the best.
Yeah, same. So coming to Pro, can't wait. If you've not checked them out, definitely a good jumping on point for the Life is Strange series. We may or may not see 2 further down the line, but I think as it stands, we'll probably only see Remastered and then True Colours. I think they kind of forget about 2 a little bit, so we shall see.
Moving on now to a game that isn't confirmed, and personally I think it's unlikely to come to the platform, even though I'm sure the entire Stadia universe would love it to, and that's Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's such a weird one with Elden Ring. Obviously, they've brought it's from Soft. We've got Sekiro on the platform, so this is where we wanted to get into the weeds of thinking.
Yeah.
Like, how can we grab on those strings and pull them and say, like, realistically, it could happen. And yeah, it's a brand new IP for one, so there's no precedence for like it existing elsewhere out there in the gaming world. It's from Software, who made Sekiro, which was of course published by Activision.
Yeah, but I think From Software themselves published it on the Stadia.
Yes, so that was the stumbling block. So it was like, okay, this is where it could be. Obviously, Elden Ring, for those who don't know, it's the Bloodborne, Demon Souls, Dark Souls kind of Sekiro. Killing you very, very quickly ethos applied to a more open world kind of approach.
Point out as well, Elden Ring is published by Bandai Namco, which do have a presence on the platform.
Yeah, although they will copyright strike you for every content you put up on the channel. They're like that, little nightmares talking to you. But yes, that for me does set a good... It's arguably, I think Game Awards was the most... It's won the most anticipated game 2 years in a row. Well, that's the scale of this title.
From Software have got a very good reputation. George R. Martin's attached as one of the writers. So usually one of the things that you say about a Dark Souls is there's a lot of lore, but not a huge amount of story.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... it's all about environmental storytelling. I think Elden Ring might be a bit more story-focused with George R. Martin being involved.
You're not going to bring a famed writer of like one of the biggest fantasy projects in the world ever in history and not get him to write some quality kind of like story development connection points between characters. But again, we don't know how much of his involvement has been in it. I'm sure loads of Game of Thrones fans out there will begrudge him being involved in anything that's not writing. Is it Winds of Winter, the last one?
Yeah, George R. R. Martin should be locked in a shed with a typewriter and go, right, Winds of Winter.
Typewriter? Wouldn't he have a PC still?
No, because he could get distracted using the internet.
He's on social media going, oh, George, stop.
With a typewriter, the only thing you can do is write.
That is true.
And 3 times a day, meals are pushed into him.
True. Elden Ring, it's a weird one for me because I'm not notoriously a fan of those other franchises because I don't like the hard, grindy nature. But I am always intrigued. I am always intrigued by it.
I've played Dark Souls a bit and I've tried to get to like that game. I just don't. Like, I just don't like I find the combat, it's the brutal difficulty of it. I just find stressful and not fun. I know the argument is it gets more fun as you get good at the game.
Get good.
I counter that with saying a game should teach you how to get good. And I just don't know. I just never got away with Dark Souls, which is why I'm not excited for Elden Ring. As I've said to you before this show, Chris, I'm really interested in seeing some reviews on Elden Ring from people who aren't Dark Souls fans, who aren't Sekiro fans, who aren't Bloodborne fans, people who are not. Because I can guarantee if you're a fan of Dark Souls, you're going to love this game.
Yeah.
I don't care about that person's opinion. I care about the person who doesn't particularly like Dark Souls' opinion. I want to know what the neutrals think before I purchase, but it's on my radar. It's hard not for it to not be.
Yeah, I mean, it's
but it's one I'm
not... going to be all over.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a huge moment if it comes to Stadia, but
we're
so close to it.
Though? Like,
we're so close to it and it's not announced.
Yeah, well, that's it. In Stadia's third year, it should be coming. It's third party. You've got these relationships with the publisher and the developer already. How is it not coming should be the bigger argument. And if it's not their fault. Well, it's clearly down to either the money's not there or the conversation hasn't happened.
At this time as well in the cycle of this game, even if it is coming to the platform, that in itself is a problem because then why didn't you tell us?
Yeah. We'll see. That's the point of this show.
So Stadia, and I think with Elden Ring in a lose-lose. Either it doesn't come to the platform in case they miss out probably the game potentially Game of the Year 2022.
Yeah.
Or it comes to the platform and everyone goes, "Why didn't you just tell us?"
Yeah. But it is still very beginning of the year. We haven't had a blog post from the year, so let's again. This is all hope. We may have had a blog post by the time you watch this on free feeds.
Yeah.
Members, we record this early and give it to you. But yeah, the reality is, I'd love them to come up swinging in 2022 and go, right, we had a quiet last year. We're fully committed and want to show that Elden Ring's going to drop day and date in February.
Yeah, even if it does come, I hope they turn out and go, you know what, it wasn't coming, but we realised not having it was a mistake, and that's why we haven't announced it, because we've only just signed the deal. And just be honest, something like that honestly would be phenomenal. I think that would go down really well. It's like, okay, yeah. Anyway, Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Again,
another one that we've got. Borderlands 3. It's from Gearbox. They're part of Embracer Group, who have a multitude of games on Stadia. It's Gearbox's, possibly Embracer's biggest game they're putting out this year. Yeah. And yet, we've seen it at multiple events now. Not a peep. But we have Borderlands 3, so again, everything ticks the boxes to say it should be coming, but we've got, 25th of March? And we've heard nothing, so...
And, unfortunately...
Where do you stand this? You're a Borderlands fan.
I am a Borderlands fan. Borderlands 3 didn't click to me the same way as Borderlands 2 did.
Okay.
I think because I think the problem with Borderlands 3 was that it was very much just more Borderlands.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what everyone was asking for, but then because it wasn't quite as good as previous installments, it just kind of came and went.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a very interesting concept, because the Tiny Tina DLC in Borderlands 2 was one of the most fun DLCs I've ever played.
Right.
Tiny Tina as a character is batshit crazy, which makes for some funny moments.
Yeah, and they've got Will Arnett is another one of the voice actors as well. It's alongside Lauren Bailey, so big cast, big title for them.
I will play this game at some point. I don't think it's a game I need to play day and date. I don't need to have this like day one.
Yeah, and then this is where then we get into that funny area where we're limited to what our knowledge is. So this is the games we spoke about. This will be, so far we're only in March. 50% of the big titles coming out at the beginning of this year, we don't know anything about coming to the platform.
Yes.
That's half. So that's half of the games that are coming we don't know about, or probably won't get.
It was inevitable, but doing this list like this, because...
Oh, yeah.
Quite frankly, we don't know what's coming to Stadia this year. We know Life is Strange and Extraction.
And we've known about them for some time now.
Avatar. Let's talk about Avatar, because that is another one that we know about.
Avatar. Yeah, from Ubisoft.
Yeah.
We don't have a date locked in for this year. This is again developed by the same team who were about to work on the new Star Wars title. It's the Division people, so they're comfortable with open world, making beautiful environments. Slightly pivot for them, not having a shooter game to work with. But my guess with this title, it's only got a 2022 date locked in on it. However, the new Avatar movie does come out next December. So I'd imagine they're going to want some kind of synchronizing of releases in and around next winter.
I can see this getting delayed into early next year. I think this is probably aiming at maybe a September. Is it November? You typically get a handful of Ubisoft releases.
Yeah.
I think that will be the target for it, but I think it might be a January game next year.
Ooh, well, that's harsh for Stadia, because that's one of the only few other confirmed.
Yeah,
games.
Well, if anything of the last 2 years has taught us, games are going to get delayed.
Yeah.
And because we don't have a date on this, in my mind, that pushes it towards the end of the year. So if it gets delayed, which I'm assuming it's going to be, because everything Ubisoft's getting delayed, everything gaming is getting delayed, that pushes it into early next year.
I think they will fight to have the movie tie-in, though, because personally, Avatar, for me, the movie is very overrated.
Yes.
I think the 3D nature of it is what got it its billions in the box office.
The quality, the technology of the 3D is the only reason people care about that movie. Still care about that, talk about Avatar. If they didn't have 3D and that technology, it would have just come and gone.
Yeah. But it's got 3 more movies being shot back to back with James Cameron.
No one knows why.
They're looking for a rejuvenation. There is phenomenal rides at the Disney World parks now. So you've got that physical presence in the world, like Star Wars did back in the day, like Indiana Jones did, to kind of proliferate its IP existing outside of the movies. So they're trying to make it a thing. They're trying the hardest to make it a thing. And I think the game... There was an Avatar game on PS3, if I'm not mistaken. That was average.
It was probably a movie tie-in.
Yeah, I think it literally was a movie tie-in. So yeah, probably 2009
I think
era.
There's an interesting world that's being built there in Avatar. that hasn't been fully explored. So this could be a really cool game.
You know, the one thing that pulled the rug out for me was finding out that it was first person, not third person, and that took it from being super excited to play it and explore Pandora to Far Cry Primal vibes and just seeing two hands run around this beautiful world, and I don't get to see my Navi avatar or whatever the creature is.
It feels to me a bit almost like Elder Scrolls Pandora.
Yeah. Okay, people would buy that.
Yeah, people could buy it. I don't know. It's hard to know if... One of the caveats I always have with this game is because it's Ubisoft. Ubisoft at times can go and do some awesome stuff. They have the potential to be really, really awesome. But most of the stuff they pull out is like a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, and they just don't. Sometimes I was talking about this a bit at the end of last year. There, Ubisoft for me, they don't seem to push themselves to try and get them 9s and 10s. Occasionally they'll land a 9 out of 10, but usually they don't. They just seem to go 8 out of 10 is good enough. Churn out the next game. And it's Ubisoft's too much of a production line.
It's formulaic, isn't it?
With the NFT stuff coming in now, there's a bit of baggage around Ubisoft. So because I need to see a decent amount of this game before it comes out to sell, they need to sell me this game, because it being Avatar and it being Ubisoft doesn't sell it to me. It's got potential. Show me what it's going to be.
Good points. But we do know it's confirmed for Stadia and Ubisoft Plus, so you can be playing it on subscription or outright when the time comes, which I think will be tied in with the movie. So you've still got nearly a year to wait. Probably see some more in the summer.
Let's talk about a game that is not confirmed to come to Stadia, and again, I don't know much about this game, but Gollum. We're getting a Gollum game, Chris.
Oh yeah, the Lord of the Rings Gollum. Yeah, they showed more off at the Game Awards, which it's such an odd one because it's from the novels. It's not from Peter Jackson's movies, so it's got that disconnect, uncanny valley where it's not Andy Serkis as Gollum. So, but it's almost going to tell a story where Gollum and Smeagol have this kind of broken dialogue running in their head, and you make decisions based on good or bad Gollum or Smeagol, and it has the potential to explore his journey from like on his search for the ring, I guess, after he's lost it to Bilbo.
Basically the journey between meeting Bilbo and meeting Frodo. Yeah,
and I think there's some gold in there somewhere because of the type of character. It's essentially two characters merged into one.
Yeah.
And as long as they stay away from showing any familiar faces, and they just show orcs and Uruk-hai and like creatures and elves maybe we've never seen, visually it could look great. Like the scene footage they've showed off, it just looks like you're in a cavern of Orthanc or somewhere.
It actually, I'm reading from the wiki page now, it is based on The Lord of the Rings and follows the character of Gollum before the events of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. So this will probably be...
Oh, wow.
My expectation will be this ends up in the Goblin Cave. Like in his little pond. This will probably be the end.
Yeah. But I don't think we need it. However, I'm not starved for Lord of the Rings games at the moment. It's been a while since Shadow of War. The team who worked on Shadow of War have pivoted over to a Wonder Woman game. So who knows if we're ever going to see a Middle-earth game anytime soon. We've got the Amazon series coming out September 2nd this year. My birthday. Looking forward to that immensely. But where's my fix? So I'm excited for it. Well, I think it probably won't come to Stadia. There's no prior existing publisher developer workings.
Fingers crossed the Amazon series reinvigorates the franchise a bit. Because the Lord of the Rings franchise, I mean, we are both huge fans. It's decayed. The IP's decayed. It's not like it's not as popular now as it was 10 years ago.
I think it does have lasting power. But then again, I'm in this bubble.
It has eternal lasting power. But these things come in peaks and troughs because there's been no standout media around the franchise. Mm-hmm. People move on to get interested in other stuff. If the Amazon series hits in a big way, suddenly game developers going, we're going to make some more Lord of the Rings games.
Well, Amazon had that MMO RPG thing they were working on and it got cancelled. So they're clearly having discussions, but We'll see. I don't. This is one that I think it could come to Stadia because it's by such a random developer, and out of nowhere, Google could go to them and go, "We'll give you some money to work on a port." Okay, they're not like, they don't have any attachment or legacy to working with Stadia, so this could be a total like dark horse out of nowhere. But at the end of the day, is the game going to be that great? Like, it could be, but it's such an unknown quantity. I've got nothing really to go on.
Yeah,
I'll definitely play it. I'm definitely getting it, but I just don't know what to expect.
I haven't heard of any games that like this publishers they've released, so
no. Yeah, it's a risk.
Yeah, this is a wait for reviews definitely for me. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm interested because they've got my interest. It's the same as Marvel Avengers. They got my interest because it's Marvel. They've got my interest because it's Lord of the Rings. But now you need to sell me on what this game is. Yeah. And why I should be invested. Why I should be interested in your game.
And my biggest thing is it's not the movies. And I think that's always the make or break. As someone who grew up and really fell in love with the franchise through the movies, anything that doesn't look like the proper settings, environments, voices, music, I start to go a bit, it seems like a cheap, like the Wish version of Lord of the Rings. I
can usually get over that. The problem is, it's not Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis is Gollum.
Yeah, like 100%.
I could see a different Star-Lord, I could see a different Captain America. Spider-Man's easy because there's been so many of them. Mm-hmm. Andy Serkis defined what Gollum is. Like, so it's like, now the issue is, are they going to do a Gollum that is kind of a take on Andy Serkis's, or they're going to just go do their own thing? I think they're probably better off doing their own thing. Otherwise, you have the problem, as you mentioned, a Wish version of Smeagol.
Yeah.
All right, I think we've got time for one more, so I'll let you pick.
Just one more.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many games though, Richie. I kind of want to pick out. There's so many. Can we not do more than one? Do one.
Okay, we can do two.
Do more than one.
We have to keep the show down.
Quick shout out to the Lego games because they need to come. Like all of them. Like, just go through your back catalogue and port the Lego games because they're timeless, they're great for family, they're super fun. But yeah, where the hell is the Star Wars Skywalker Saga game? It's been delayed 4 times and it's been pushed back and pushed back.
With a bit more of a focus with outright games and on family style games, Lego would be a good sell.
Yeah, well, this pulls across to my first game of the lot. It's bundle them all together. It's just the Warner Brothers in general. We've got Gotham Knights, Hogwarts Legacy, and Suicide Squad Killer Justice League, all supposedly coming out this year. And the Arkham Knight game that runs on Stadia but is only through AT&T. What the hell is going on with Warner Brothers? Like, you're either doing a deal with them or you're not. And if you are, sign it, lock them in, and port some games over because it's a big, massive, arguably one of the biggest staples of third-party game makers out there. And we've only got Mortal Kombat in 2 and a bit years of existence of this platform. We've got no back catalogue. We've got no sign that the new games are coming. And I think we've said on the podcast, Richie, but like these are going to be some of the biggest games of the year. And we've heard nothing about them. So that's my... I don't think we need to talk about the games because they're all kind of the same in a weird way.
Yeah, the Lego games, they're very formulaic. They just play through the story. They play through a story of a different franchise.
Yeah.
So the Skywalker Saga is going to... It's like the Lego Star Wars 1 to 9 slammed together.
It's the old ones, but they're remaking them and bringing them all up to date, modernising them. But yeah, it's all 9 movies, all of the characters you love or hate in one game, and I think it's arguably going to be the biggest Lego game ever made, and the longest probably.
It's 9 movies worth of game.
Yeah. And they have the prequel trilogy, they have the original Star Wars trilogy already in Lego form. So it's taking the best bits of the old loved games.
Yeah.
And really, really modernise it. So that's that. But yeah, the Hogwarts Legacy, Gotham Knights, I just think they need to work out some relationship where there is much more love shown to Stadia and WB. Because they put out some quality games. The Middle-earth games, aforementioned, included. Shadow of War, Shadow of Mordor. But yeah, my other one I probably want to just get in there before we wrap up is going to be Saints Row reboot. Purely off the back of we've got a lot of Saints Row games on Stadia now.
Yeah.
Most of which have been on Pro as well. So there's such a good working relationship there with THQ and Volition who do Saints Row. I'd love to see the new day. This will be the first day and date Saints Row game we could possibly have. It was just delayed until August, so they've got a bit more time now. It was supposed to come out in February.
Yeah.
Bit more time, polish it off. Brand new reboot of the franchise. You've got that working relationship. You've got games on the platform. Again, Richie, why shouldn't this be on Stadia? It needs to. If we wrap out 2022 and we didn't get Saints Row, we didn't get Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, Elden Ring at a push, we'll have just gone another year and only had Ubisoft games and indie titles for a whole of the year because there's no exclusives coming.
Yeah, there's no exclusives coming.
Well, first party homebrew ones. There will be deals, I'm sure.
The thing is, I'm Stadia at a point now where every missed title is a big blow to the platform. I don't think because they're 2 years in now. The first year year and a half of okay, we didn't get that title. It's like fine, you're a new platform. You're not a new platform anymore. You're 2 years into the cycle.
Yeah.
How long did the PS5 last? Was it like 8 years or something?
The PS5?
PS4, sorry.
7, I think, before.
7 years. So they're a quarter of the way through the average lifespan, probably, of a console.
Mm-hmm.
That's significant now. You need to start hitting the big titles. And
all of these deals, should have been
there's other stuff we haven't mentioned. We haven't mentioned Marvel's
ago.
Midnight Suns. We haven't mentioned Suicide Squad. We haven't mentioned Sonic Frontiers. We haven't mentioned Dying Light 2.
Mm-hmm.
These all games coming this year. You need to be hitting them.
Starfield, which we know is Bethesda, which we've got Doom and stuff
I think
on Stadia.
Starfield may have been confirmed to be Xbox exclusive.
It is, yeah.
But, so
does the cloud count as console?
If it's a first party exclusive, something like say Horizon or Forspoken or Starfield or God of War or Breath of the Wild, etc. You don't have to hit them Stadia. We'll understand that. If you don't get a Sony first party studio on the platform, that's fine. We can live with that. But the big AAAs, the big most expected games coming this year, you should be at a point now where you're hitting them. This is what I mean. Like Google need to come out and back the platform, and to do that, you need games. If you want more gamers in, you need games.
Yeah,
and as it stands, we don't know what's coming.
Yeah.
We know a lot of games are coming.
Yeah, the big kind of point for me was last year when we didn't get Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
that was the kind of big red flag for me, which was.
And then was in the Game of the Year conversation.
Yeah. After we had all of the Tomb Raider games and the Final Fantasy titles, and Square Enix have put out some of the RPGs.
Final Fantasy
as well.
Title.
Yeah,
Singular.
Octopath title. Yeah, Octopath Traveler and stuff like all of those little interstitial games from Square Enix. Avengers as well had came out, so that was a brand new day and date AAA game that came out from Square Enix. To then have Guardians of the Galaxy announced and it just come and go, win loads of Game of the Year awards, mine and Tom's favourite Game of the Year, and it's just not a mention, not a sniff, not even a chance. That was a red flag for me, which means if that's happening end of last year, what does the forecast look for this year? And we mentioned at the top of the show, but great, we're getting Extraction in January. Terrific, we're getting Life is Strange Remastered. And then what? We've got Avatar at some point in the next 12 to 30 months, but if Stadia can't get any more games within the next year, it's going to be a rough year. And 2021 was a rough year, so...
2021 was a very rough year for Stadia. The biggest news of Stadia in 2021 was Stadia Games and Entertainment closing. And that was, what, February?
Yeah.
So they
then they didn't talk to us after that.
Yeah. They can't do that again. Otherwise, they're done. Like, I think that is the point they're at now, is like, they need to be hitting, I'd say, minimum half of the games we've talked about today. Yeah.
Well, just looking at the list, I will be playing Horizon on my PS5.
Yeah.
Elden Ring, if we don't get it, PS5. Tiny Tina's Wonderland, probably won't pick up. Forspoken, I'm keen on. PS5 exclusive. Star Wars Legacy, the Lego, if it doesn't come out, PS5. Saints Row, probably not for me. Starfield, it's X Pass. It'll probably be on Game Pass for £9 a month. Gollum, I'll pick it up on PS5. Marvel's Midnight Suns, not doing it for me right now. Avatar, as I've said with Ubisoft games before, I can buy PS5 Ubisoft games from the Ubisoft store with points and get 20% off. So I'll be able to pick that up for cheap. God of War Ragnarok, PS5 exclusive. Gotham Knights, Hogwarts Legacy, I'm not that fussed on, but if they aren't coming to Stadia, I've got no reason to be playing it at all through 2022. So...
Well, the thing is, if you just picked 12 of these games and gone to play one a month, you've got a good year in front of you. Like,
very much so.
There's things like Breath of the Wild 2 is rumored to be coming this year. That'll be a huge game when that comes. Pokemon almost always do something in November.
Yeah, well, you've got Arceus this month anyway.
Yeah,
to kickstart your kick-off.
There might be a Sword and Shield 2, so Pokemon Spear, Pokemon Bow, whatever they're going to call it. That could be something like that slated for the end of the year.
And the biggest thing as well is this isn't including the games as a service. We've got no Apex still. There's no Call of Duty Warzone. There's no Fortnite. There's no Minecraft. We have PUBG going free in February. But
PUBG's on its last legs.
So you've got all these games that aren't listed or aren't coming. You've got all these free-to-play games that are constantly adding season content on for free. That are huge. We've got no first-party exclusives coming. You might have a couple of indie deals that happen, like the likes of Wavetail and Pixel Junk Raiders. Yeah. But what is the roadmap? Again, we go back here, Richie. Rounding out the show. What is the roadmap for the year ahead? It's January the 2nd at the time of recording. You have 363 days to get this shit right. If
I'm Phil Harrison, before the end of the year, I would have had my roadmap scheduled. So in the first few weeks of January, I can announce what 2023 is going to look like for Stadia.
We're excited for the year ahead.
It's not even we excited. It's like, this is why you should be excited. Don't make it about Stadia. Yeah, it's like, because in the end of the day, gaming is a hobby. You want to be excited about your hobby. It's kind of the point. Mm-hmm. So it's on Google to give us the reason, and we know the only things that we know definitively as it stands that come on the platform are Rainbow Six Extraction, a Ubisoft title, and remasters of Life is Strange, which are great games. Mm-hmm. And then it's a blank. Avatar, probably later in the year, a Ubisoft title. So yeah. Anyway,
Richie, it's still early.
Yeah, it's very early in the year. You've got Google. You've got time to turn this around.
I'd be happy just to hear from Mafia 1 and 2. It's because it's been a while.
We're not going to start that again, are we? Countdown.
I mean, if you want to, it was teased 600 days ago. Now, 600 days.
You know what? Keep track of your count yourself, and if it hits 1,000 days, then we'll bring it up.
1,000 days. Yeah. Okay. I'll keep counting this.
But that's all we have time for this week. If you've liked the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon for notifications when all of our great shows go live, such as the Sound Stadia podcast, such as our Thursday night live streams. If you want to join the conversation even further, there is a Discord. We do have a Discord server. The link is in the description where you can join awesome people, chat, or write in topic ideas. What do you want to see from Stadia this year? In fact, in the comments below, I want you to write the game of the games we talk about that you are most excited to see and why you think it should come to Stadia. And with that, my name's been Richie.
My name's been Chris.
We've been Helix Cloud Games. Thank you very much for watching. Quest completed.